Max Mills. I'm a senior, number 51, linebacker center. And this story comes from 2 days. Like it was one of the last day 2 days, and some of the guys were out in the field in like the time between practices because it was hot and we were all tired. And so we took out a bunch of like the pads and we were just laying on them. And Joe was just laying on one of them, and he was dozing off. He was about to fall asleep. And Esley is like running around trying to mess with people, and he just takes one of the pads and just like jumps up in the air and just body slams Joe. And Joe is just like he's just like freaked out. He doesn't know what the hell just happened because he's hit by Esley. And Esley just gets up and just runs away. Just runs away like a little girl, and Joe's just like, what the hell just happened? And it was pretty funny to watch.
My name's Simon Amnuel, number 50, the kicker for the team. I would say one of the funniest parts of this football season is probably in the preseason during 2 days when my good buddy Alex Dreer was just having a real hard time. He's a pretty big guy. I think it was after our second two-a-day and we went inside and he kind of just hit the deck. He's having a pretty hard time. Yeah, that's probably the funniest moment from this football season for me.
Hi, James. I'm number 8. I'm a freshman, and I play backup quarterback and corner. All right, so last practice, Coach Hal gave us his nickname, Big Daddy. So just now, I thought I was in trouble. He pulled me to the side, pulled up an article that said Scott Big Daddy Hal.
Why is it so funny?
Because who names themselves that? Your middle name too?
Alright, my name is Aiden Sande. I play receiver and safety, and I'm a senior. So a funny story I have was actually from my freshman year, and it was when Coach Beneke, it was during a practice, Coach Beneke called out the kickoff team. And at this time I was like on the kickoff team taking reps, and we were all circled around Coach Beneke. And Coach Beneke, he doesn't have like a lot of range with his neck. He likes to move kind of like this with his whole body. And Esley was standing in like his perfect blind spot, and he has like his clipboard with like 800 pieces of paper like throughout, and he just goes, and he's kind of looking, he's making sure everyone's there, and he goes, Esley, and Esley's right here. Esley's just right here, and he's looking like this, but he can't see Esley. Esley, and he's looking around, and he's like, I'm right here, Coach. Doesn't hear him. Yeah. And he looks back down, and he pats him. I'm right here. And at this time, Esley was a freshman, so he didn't have a lot of leeway. And so Coach Beneke just kind of goes, I don't know. I think you lost your job, son. And it was so funny because everyone around him just watched him just lose his spot. Eventually, he got it back, but it was just hilarious because he wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just standing in the wrong spot. So that's the funny story I have.
I have a list of 15 values that I try to review before every game to kind of center myself as a coach. The number one value is that this is the kids' time. We coaches have had our time. Right behind that is that I want the kids, every one of them, to feel good about themselves. I want them to come away from the game, from the experience, feeling good about themselves, liking themselves, learning about themselves, and coming away just feeling like, that they have contributed, that they've been affirmed.
Resilience. We've had to be very resilient. We've had a lot of injuries. A lot of bad things happen to us. And those players that have stuck in there, that have been resilient, that have moved around and played different positions when we asked them to, they didn't complain. They just kind of rolled with the punches like us coaches did. So just resiliency, being resilient.
say honestly, Coach Beneke, because ever since I was a freshman, he always gave me a chance. A lot of my coaches at Jimmy Lee, especially Coach Jackson, my 14th year, he saw something in me. He actually changed my position. I used to be a linebacker, and he switched me to a tight end and a receiver. And so that was a big change. But honestly, Coach Beneke, because he would throw me in with the varsity guys. And even though I had some imposter syndrome, I didn't feel like I was supposed to be out there. But after I started making plays and, doing the thing, I really started to believe in myself. So shout out to Coach Beneke.
I like helping out young people, working with the kids, and then I also love sports and being competitive. So it's a good way to combine those two things. And I also enjoy coaching with one of my friends, Coach Jamal, and then also my dad, uncle, and grandpa as well.
Life skill I've learned from a coach. Just not to let little things get to you. I'll go back to the Jimmy Lee days again. There was one game where I had missed a tackle, and everybody was getting on me, and one of my coaches was like, "Man, just let all that go. We're back on the next play."
I think just even if you're tired, even if you kind of feel like giving up, push through, and kind of go hard. I think just after school, some days are really long days, and you get to practice and you're super tired, but you gotta practice anyways, and you gotta push through it.
Sometimes you just gotta let it out. Sometimes you can get overly rushed with emotion, and keeping it inside and letting it get into your mind can really hurt you. So let it out. As a kid, I'd never been really in touch with my emotions, so now I'm starting to really branch out on asking and telling people hey, I'm not feeling the best, and hey, I'm overrushed with emotions. Maybe can you give me a break, something like that.
One thing that I learned from my teammates as well as my coach, when you come to work or a setting where you have a group, having a positive mindset really goes a long way. You would never know, but if you come someplace and you're gloomy, it starts to pass along throughout all the other people. So just having a positive mindset makes it better for you as well as other people.
The senior class at Central this year, they're hard workers. They work hard. They've been playing together for, I think, 3-4 years. Mm-hmm. And they're the backbone of the team. And so the youngsters look up to them. So they got to set the example. So they're very hard workers, and they're great young kids.
Oof, this senior class. This is the COVID senior class. I'm gonna remember a lot. I think as a young coach, this senior class has been through a lot of things that happen just through our life. I don't know where to start. I remember there were COVID class, so I remember a lot. I think one thing is they stay together. That's one thing I remember. That's one thing I will always remember for sure is that they always stay together, no matter the circumstance. They'll always work together. They play for each other. They're always great friends to each other. That's one thing for sure I remember. I would never forget this class, for sure. I would never forget the 2023 class.
It was during JV versus C team game, playing wedge captain. I caught the ball, ran 12 yards. That was the best moment.
Oh, my JV game, this one JV game I played in against Highland. I got a touchdown as a lineman. I was the first lineman to get a touchdown, and I was happy that day. It was fun. That's a day that I actually liked playing football.
Tell me what happened on that play.
What happened was, so me and Jalil came. So the QB was trying to throw the ball. We both came, and Jalil pushed his guy back, and then the QB lost the ball, and I picked it up, and I started winning.
The most memorable moment with the cheerleading, I would say, is the times that we get to bond with one another. Those are really fun, especially when we did laser tag. That was fun.
Were you any good?
Yeah, our team won.
It was probably this year
Tyjon, in the Richfield game, Tyjon caught a touchdown over like 3 defenders, and it was crazy. Couldn't believe he did that. So definitely most memorable.
My friend and teammate Nevaeh and I have these movie nights where we go to the Grandview Theater, see movies, kind of talk about them. And so we were in a theater, we were seeing Bullet Train, and there was no one there, it was just us, and we just put on some music and started like dancing up and down the aisles, and it was so much fun.
I just want to cut this one. I don't watch a lot of football.
You're watching. There's no NFL player. Anybody. It could be past, present, future. Any older football player that you want. You're not correct.
Lawrence Taylor.
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Stay in school. School comes first before football, and pay attention. Listen to your coaches and listen to your older teammates.
Last time I had fun was I don't remember having fun, to be honest.
Nothing made you laugh on the field ever?
Well, some people do, but I'm the funny one, so like I be making people laugh the most, you know.
Well, I mean, one of the funniest things was one day after practice we decided to have a gritty contest, and I think it ended up being Aiden against, I think who he was going against, one of the big guys, might have been Karan, and I believe Aiden won. It was pretty funny. It was their dancing skills, I guess.
When I first tried out to be a cheerleader, I did a terrible tryout, and all of my teammates expected me to make varsity. I did not, because I have a terrible sense of direction, and I don't really know my rights from my left, so I messed up very badly during my tryouts, but now I'm the captain 4 years later.
When we practice cheer, sometimes we had changed the words, and then when coach wants us to perform it for her, we had changed the words to that and perform it to her. Like, we supposed to say hey, but instead we was like, what's up, in deep voices, and it was funny. We was all laughing. Coach Tay got caught off guard with it. So.
I don't tell nobody this. I do not tell nobody this at all.
Yeah.
I like to play the trumpet.
All right.
I like to play trumpet. I don't tell nobody that.
I would not be here if it wasn't for my team or just like Central in general. When I got out of middle school, I was definitely struggling, which most middle schoolers go through, but it was just a little bit harder. But my team and Central's community definitely like made me feel more welcome.
Okay, first of all, I want to say hi, Mom, because I never get to say that on video. And then I would say, this is kind of be for freshmen or people that want to start something new. Do it. When I was a freshman, I tried out. I was so shy, I did not know what I was doing. I tried out and I made varsity. So just try it. Like, the worst that can happen is people say no. That's what I have to say.